Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and Epic Blockchain has come out with a new update in their programmability or tunability of their ASIC miners. I really love Epic Blockchain because not only do you just buy the board once, here is a Bitmain board, and here is a Whatsminer board, but once you buy the miner or the control board, you don't need to pay a dev fee. They did sell some of their own miners. They're all sold out. But the fact that they're power play tables, and it's not power play tables. Is it power play? Yeah, it's power play tables or software that they keep on coming out with updates. This was just released 4 days ago. Like, the updates just keep on coming. This allows me the capability to extend the limits of my ASIC. So we've got two S19K Pros, the 120 terahash version and the 110 terahash version. You can tell because the efficiency is not as good. Even with the Epic Blockchain control board, the efficiency is not as good. But we can see here on this one, we're doing 135.3 terahash, 23.3 joules per terahash. And on this one, 134 at 24.8 joules per terahash. Both of them sitting around 3,000, almost. This one's under 3,200. This one's over 3,300. So relatively the same, a few subtle differences. But in the perpetual tune section, because of this update, we now have a third option. Instead of just voltage optimizer, we now also have chip tune and board tune. Well, chip tune was already there, but board tune experimental is brand new. And I'm curious to see and show you the performance difference. So we're going to go from voltage optimizer, which is the one I like. And chip tune's okay. I just don't use it or like it as much because it overvolts. It can overvolt some of the individual chips. So I use voltage optimizer instead. However, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And now we're going to switch over to board tune and bring you back to see what the results are or the differences are between the voltage optimizer and the experimental feature just recently provided to us. I don't think it was on this update, 49.2. Matter of fact, I'm on 48, which has this version. So I might update to 49.2. What's super easy about this is you just go to their GitHub. They do have the SD card one if you need to reflash it externally. But we just download the zip. And then we're going to go to that folder and go to our settings. And inside settings, go to System, System Update, Browse, select that folder. You don't have to extract or anything, but select it and then apply. And it will keep our mining settings. It will keep our pool configuration. And you'll see down here in the bottom right, it will eventually switch over to, and you can't see it actually. Hang on one second. It will switch over from version 48 to 49.2. So I'm going to apply this update to both miners, see what the stock one settles at, and then we'll try out the new board tune experimental feature and show you the differences in performance. We are settled back down, settled back in right now, sitting basically about the same, 23.3 joules per terahash, right around the same power draw on this particular machine. This one about the same. So now that we have settled down and we're still seeing roughly the same numbers, I would like to see the second machine more around that 134 135 terahash. They're roughly the same, including in the power draw. Power draw dropped a little bit on the second machine after that update, and this is why I love Epic Blockchain. Just that one update from 48 to 49.2 can make just a small efficiency improvement. So now let's switch on over, go to perpetual tune and try the board tune experimental, putting in our target hash rate and the minimum throttle, which is the hash rate before idling, and then the throttle step, the amount to step down when throttling. So when we're overheating through our targets, by the way, you can set those temperature targets under your settings. Right here under temperature guards, you can see shutdown temperature 85, critical 100, and that's under the performance category. So now we can just go ahead and plug and play our targets. So we're going to do 135 for this one, and we'll probably leave the minimum throttle, the steps, we'll probably leave that all alone. So let's do that for 1 and 2, and check out the results once we have let it had time to settle in. Now, after allowing the systems to settle in, we did drop down a little bit in efficiency from 24.2 to 24.4 is what I saw on average, maybe 24.6 joules per terahash on machine number 2. We're now sitting around 24 joules per terahash, even dipping down to 23.8 joules per terahash. Power draw is roughly the same. It's up a little bit more right now, right this second. As you can see, thermals are a little bit down, but it just made the device that much better. Going to machine 1, we did see a small improvement, nothing too crazy, dropping down from 21 or 23.1 or 23.3 joules per terahash to 23.1. Power draw dropped down about like 30 watts, nothing too crazy. Temperatures dropped down like 0.4 degrees, nothing too crazy, but it does allow, I guess, the machines to run a little bit more efficiently, and it will auto tune itself. It's called perpetual tune, so it will continue to fine tune itself depending on the thermal environment, the environmental factors. Obviously if it had fans on it and non-immersion liquid like mine, it would auto tune the fan speeds, the RPM, so on and so forth. So by Epic adding this feature in here, it just gives us, the end user, a little bit more fine tunability and control over our machines. Now, yes, it does come on LuxOS through the Luxor team, or Brains OS, or BitBix, or Vanish. Different operating systems or firmwares that you could apply to these control boards do allow you some tunability, but I just like Epic's that much better. It's very clean GUI, very plain, easy to navigate. They're always updating. They're always giving us new power play tables to mess around with, thus improving their performance. And it's a one-time charge only. I pay for this board one time for the life of the device, and I am good to go. And if this device does wind up being sold off, I can keep the control board, return it back to stock, and send it on its merry way. Put this control board in another Bitmain device, because these boards can be transported, for example, from the S19K Pro that we're on to an S21, and so on and so forth, because they keep on coming out with updates for these boards. So wanted to share that with you. I wouldn't say it's a drastic improvement in performance. Again, dropping 0.2 joules per terahash, power draw dropping roughly anywhere between 30 to 40 watts on machine number 1, whereas on machine number 2, we see a slight improvement, right? Dropping 0.2 joules per terahash. Power draw is roughly about the same, but this is the 110 terahash version that I got, which does not operate as best as the 120, but you can kind of like get it close to its other siblings, but 30-ish, maybe 10, 15 watts. Thermal's a little bit better, basically the same. So just let the machine tune itself and know that you have another option under perpetual tune, not just voltage optimizer, not just chip tune, but now board tune, which is still experimental, but eventually they'll get all the kinks worked out and we'll all be able to push our machines as far as we possibly can. But I just wanted to share this data with you. Let me know your thoughts down in the description below. Are you using an Epic control board? Or what operating system or firmware, custom firmware, are you using for your Bitmain or Bitcoin ASICs or script ASICs or whatever ASICs you might have that is compatible with? Let me know down in the comments. Besides that, hit that like button on the way out. Get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description that will support the channel and what we do here. I'll catch you in the next one.